welcome back to Weekly Dose of Potato. In today's video, I'm gonna share a few general study tips for you while preparing for your SPM or any other exam. There'll be a little Q&A session at the end, so be sure to stay to the end. It's gonna be a series, but I still don't know like how many videos I'm gonna make, and I still don't know like what's the next video that I'm making. So subscribe for more. Yeah. If this is your first time watching my videos, hi, I'm Victoria and I'm 18. I make videos about academics, lifestyle, and I don't know. We'll see later. Before I start this video, here's a little bit disclaimer. I'm not trying to brag my results in any way. Just trying to like help all those genius out there. And you won't get 10 A's right after watching this video. You need to put in effort to get 10 A's. If you think you can get 10 A's after watching these videos, then good for you lah. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about my background. So, I went to Sekolah Harian Ipoh. I went to tuition for subjects like Chinese, English, sejarah, enuf, biology and chemistry. I was a bit active in my co-curricular activities. I was part of the committee for St. John and other club. I was a science stream student and I took Chinese and Chinese literature as extra subjects. So it's 11 subjects in total that I'm taking. And I didn't manage to get straight A's. I didn't get 10 A's because I got freaking B+ for Chinese literature. So overall it's 6 A+, 4 A's and 1 B+. Don't mind me if I keep on looking down. I'm actually looking at my script. I'm having the brain of a goldfish, so let's just jump into it. Yeah! The first tip is to have a planner or a bullet journal. Try this if you don't know how to manage your time. If you are a constant procrastinator and like you're the type of people who put on their phone, scroll and then see it's already 8 PM, you know. Then you should try using a planner. You don't have to like buy a planner. You can actually just use any paper, any books. And then like this is my way of planning lah. Or like the date and the day and then like the time here. And then I'll like write down what I do. For the red ones, right, they are tasks, works and stuff, you know. And then all those blue ones, they are like daily routine. Yeah, so that's how I plan. There is no right or wrong way of like how you plan. As long as it works for you, then okay already. The second tip is sort of an alternative for the first tip, which is to make a to-do list before every study session. Try this if you don't know how to manage your time but you don't want to waste your time on planning when to do a certain task. Make sure the amount of tasks that you set is achievable. You need to know your limits. For my limit is 3 papers per day. Set like fewer tasks for each day and then like break it into like smaller tasks so that it can trick your brain to like do more tasks, you know. Third tip is know your learning style. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic or others. You need to know lah. Mine was kind of like a combination between visual and auditory. Actually, you all can just like Google and do the test, but I know you all because I'm lazy too. So I'm just gonna like put that link in the description box so that you can just like click and then do that test, you know. Make sure to know that if you are like more suitable to study by yourself or with your friends, because that's actually very important too. And the fourth tip is to know your exam format. It's a must. You must know. Okay? Just ask your school teachers, tutor, and like if you do not ask, just Google it. How are you gonna sit for that paper if you don't know what is the format? I myself, I knew the format back when I was in Form 3, a month before PT3, because that time I was quite bored of all those PT3 syllabus. Then I went to Popular and flicked through all those SPM past years. That's how I knew my SPM format. Y'all don't have past year, so Google it dah. The next tip is to make an outline for each subject before you start revising. Should I show you? Normally, I'll write the chapter name first, and then I'll make table for all those subtopics and then all those columns to know if I read through the subtopics and stuff, and then do all those topical workbook. You see chapter 2, I'm too lazy for that, so this is to make my life easier so that I can see which chapters I haven't fully understand and which one I really understand. Yeah, the sixth tip is to remove all your distractions. Actually, it's very common lah. My distraction is my phone, food, and my brain. Because my brain will think a lot, it won't make me focus to study. Normally, I'll choose to study in my room lah, to prevent myself from eating food all day instead of studying. But I can't throw my phone and my brain away because all those resources are in it, and I need my brain to think. It's quite sad. I want to throw my brain away, but I can't. I can't tell you if you should listen to music while studying or not. Because I listen to them mostly all the time, but sometimes I don't feel like listening to them. The seventh tip is to focus in class and do not sleep. I still remember me drinking coffee every day before class, and my mom stopped buying coffee because of that. And my friends, my dear friends, bring coffee to school so that I can drink it whenever they feel sleepy in class. But don't try to do that lah. Caffeine is not good for your health. If possible, try to sleep earlier the night before. 不要熬夜. The next two tips is sort of part 2 and part 3 for the previous tip. So the 8th tip is to eat sweets in class, but do not get caught. You can try this if you can't focus in class, especially when you're having online classes now. And if you feel sleepy in class, just like Potato Chew, I'd literally sleep 24/7 in class for both school and tuition. I don't care what, I'll sleep, especially for bio. Bio in school even until after trials and I'm still sleeping, I'm still sleeping until my biology teacher, Van Azrin, went and tell Eva, my desk mate, to stop me from sleeping because she's quite worried about me. Luckily I got an A. I love my teachers, but I don't know why. I just feel sleepy in their classes all the time. The 9th tip is, if you can't eat sit right, try standing or walking around instead. You can try this if you have a prefect, to be specific, an assistant head prefect as your desk mate, and she don't want you to eat sit in class. And basically, just ask your teacher to allow you to walk around the class. Ask your teacher's permission to stand or something lah. Anyways, right, this is actually a good way for you to lap up, but don't skip class lah. SPM is coming already, right? The 10th tip is to participate more in class. It's okay to answer some questions wrongly because you are there to learn. And even if you answer wrongly, right, the teachers won't kill you one. At least you won't make the same mistake during exam. Just try to answer. 你不是看怎样知道，对不对？ The 11th tip is to talk to your teachers. Don't be afraid to ask questions, especially for now. You don't even have to meet your teachers face to face. You can actually just type that into the chat box, and even if you're not in class, you can just WhatsApp or Telegram them. Just ask that. They'll be very happy to help you. Trust me, I'm the one who always asking everyone. The 12th tip is to complete all your homework and hand in on time. And try this if you don't know what to do but you want to study, or if you want to study but you don't have any other topical workbooks with you and stuff. But don't just try lah, you should do your homework. Later you got demerit and stuff. Do your homework. There will always a reason why a teacher gave you a certain homework. What if it comes up in the exam? What if? The 13th tip is to use only one source, because too many sources for a certain subject, it'll be kind of confusing for me. If you have more than one source, just try to combine all of them together and and study from that one source. In my case, I take biology as an example. So I have like 4 sources for biology: textbook, tuition notes, reference books, and my own notes. At first, I plan to combine all 3 other sources into one sources, which is my own notes. But SPM and trials is like just in few months, so I decided not to do my own notes, because doing notes is actually very time consuming for me. So what I did was I checked all the other sources and my notes, if there's any side notes that I made, and then I transfer all of them into this one reference book. I just study from that, just use that as the only reference while doing all other state papers and stuff. I saw many of my friends actually just use reference book, and I assume like many juniors also like that. So when you study from a reference book, do this thing called active reading. Try to write things down there, try to interact with the sources, highlight the main points. Even though I don't like to highlight now, if I really go and highlight, right, I scared that I would ruin the whole book, and then the whole book would become like very ugly. So see lah how you do. The 15th tip is to use pomodoro technique. This is like damn common, which is you study for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break after that and repeat the cycle. If you like to watch anime, you can try this thing called animedoro, which is you work for like 40 minutes or more than that, and then after that you watch 20-minute anime. I think it's like that, I forgot. But I didn't watch anime, so what I watched instead was BTS videos. Anyways, remember to stream butter. Do as many practice as possible. Topical workbooks, past years. If you want to do, then you do state papers. State papers is like the most important thing among all these 3. You need to do that after trials or like before trials, like during that time lah. You need to do as many state papers as possible, because normally what comes out in state papers, some of the questions will actually come out in the actual exam. If you don't do state papers, you rugi lah. I don't do the papers exactly. Normally I'll just like read the question, think about the answer in my head, check the answer scheme. If the answer is correct, copy the answer into the question paper. But I saw like some of my friends, they can like just read from the questions and answer like that. I cannot, because like I need to like write down the answer to remember that. Depends on you all lah. The 17th tip is to join a study group. If you don't have any study groups to join, then just create one lah. In case if you can't concentrate while studying by yourself, if you're lazy and you need people to guide you, just like Potato. My group was actually called Amazing, and I'm the one who named it because everyone in that group is just amazing! Amazing! I still remember what we do is Fa would send state papers into the group, and then we all would do, and then after that we'll plan a time to discuss the answer together using Gmeet. But since Potato is lazy though, so she's just gonna wait for that answer every time. Eva is like literally the teacher in the study group, while me, as a desk mate, I'm the laziest one in there. The 18th tip is to take care of your own health, both mentally and physically. Make sure that you eat healthily and you drink enough water, get enough rest and sleep well. Don't ever burn yourself out, because it'll like affect both your mental and physical health. And if you have any problems, just tell your families and friends. And if you don't like to share out your problems, right, maybe you can try listening to like music and like meditate and stuff. What I did was I'll like write down all those negative thoughts and throw them away. I would write like in the form of poems, and I think I already like lost all of them. So 19th tip is about ramalans and tips. Don't ignore them, but don't trust them fully at the same time. Because during SPM month, you'll get tons of ramalans and tips, and you won't know which one to believe and which one to not believe. Just make sure that you already cover the whole syllabus. That's the safest way. For me, I just focus on state papers and what my school teacher and my tutor taught me. So if you only rely on your tips and ramalans, it won't get you anyway further. The 20th tip, last one. Oh my god, recess time, which is to study study right after you eat, like use the remaining time to study lah. I actually ran out of ideas, but when I discussed with Eva, and then my brain was like ting, so this idea came out. I myself, I prefer to eat while studying because food is everything. Food. I like to eat a lot, but Eva, she preferred to study right after she eat, so depends on you lah. If you like to eat while studying, then you eat while studying. If you like to eat first and then rest for a while then study, then you can also do that as well. But if you are prefects or librarians and you have duty during recess, don't do this. If not, your senior will come to me and scold me and I get scared. Yay! So that's basically all. So now is the Q&A session. And the first question is how to score sejarah. 怎么复习历史来应付写作题? Basically, do more practice. Use your textbook as the only source. Try to do more K-part questions. Paper 1 questions, right? Also do as many as possible because you guys don't have past years for sejarah. You can actually do past year if you want to. Do as many essay questions as possible. And then even if it's structured question, just make it as another essay question. Because if like that, right, only you can get more points. You can think about more points during the exam. Tips to score. You graduate already. How to gain self-discipline? I think I have got. Oh my god. Find a study buddy. Guide each other. And how to sleep well. I do not sleep well. Even until now. Try not to use your gadgets half an hour before you sleep. And then try to relax your mind. I don't know. I do not sleep well. I can't give you tips for this there. Anyways, I think that's all lah. We'll see you next time. Bye!